Great. Thank you for having me here today. I also want to say my gratitude to the young ladies who spoke earlier, who gave context to this situation of homelessness and why it happens. I'm here today to speak briefly about my own experiences with homelessness as a youth, but also now as a practitioner serving foster and homeless youth at the university. So my name's Kizzy Lopez, and I coordinate the Renaissance Scholars at Fresno State. Renaissance Scholars serves former foster youth and independent youth attending the university. I'm very passionate about serving this vulnerable population because of my own experiences, and I know firsthand what it's like to be in foster care and to start college homeless and all alone. I experienced habitual homelessness with my family while in elementary school and high school, but during my first 3 months of community college, I was homeless, but this time I was all alone. In order to avoid physical abuse, I left home and thought it might be less risky to brave the streets than to continue the abuse. While homeless, it was almost impossible to concentrate in school. Each day I thought about where I was going to stay. Each day I thought about where I would eat or how I would get food. And I'm not proud of it, but there are days where I did steal food and was even approached by, I would say, predators and considered dancing and being involved in the sex industry to alleviate the agony of poverty and homelessness. I don't want to see students struggle in this way. This is why I've committed my professional career to serving vulnerable youth in higher education. There are so many bright and talented students who may not have the basic things that they need to be successful in school. There are also significant overlaps with homeless youth and foster youth. Based on a national survey, approximately 40% of homeless youth between the ages of 18 and 20 were in foster care. Homeless youth can be identified through the FAFSA, the free application for federal student financial aid, but students must self-report this information, and these questions are number 55 through 57 on the FAFSA. Unfortunately, homeless youth do have to obtain proof of their homelessness status through shelters and homeless district liaisons. I won't go over the questions in the interest of time for the FAFSA, but I will let you know the CSU does not have centralized data on homeless youth, but each campus keeps that information anecdotally on their campus. Fresno State has obtained reports from the university financial aid since 2010 to identify independent youth who are 24 years of younger. These independent youth include foster youth, legal guardianship, emancipated minors, orphans, and homeless youth. All of these students are invited to apply to the Renaissance Scholars Program. Each year, there are approximately 120 independent youth on our campus who are eligible for our services, and of those, a small group, 2 to 5 of those students, self-report that they're homeless, separate from being in foster care. The university's definition of youth is up to the age of 24, but the federal financial aid definition of youth is up to the age of 21. When homeless youth turn 22, they have to obtain additional documentation to gain their independent status for financial aid purposes. This is not the case for other independent youth. This creates an additional barrier for homeless students. Homeless youth can have their immediate needs met at Fresno State through general university services and also through dedicated support through the Renaissance Scholars Program. I'm going to share with you a little bit of what the university does in general and then share a little bit about what Renaissance Scholars does. So Fresno State has a Good Samaritan Fund. This is a fund that's available to assist students who experience monumentous occurrence ranging from extreme misfortune to personal tragedy that negatively impacts or has a potential negative impact on their student success. The university also has an emergency loan program, which is available to assist students with short-term loans to help with unanticipated educational expenses. Another resource that's available to students is the Bulldog Food Pantry, which is located across the street from the campus at a Lutheran Ministry church. Students and community members can get food there each Saturday without having to obtain proof of residency or any additional barriers. Last, Renaissance Scholars acts as an unofficial point of contact for staff members who come across homeless youth. And I serve on the Fresno County Office of Education, Foster Youth, and Homeless Advisory Board and partner with the Fresno County EOC Transitional Living Center, known as TLC. TLC offers homeless young adults and families with children with up to 24 months of residential and supportive services that promote independent living. So staff on campus will refer students to our office so that I can refer them out to these services that are in the community and on campus. For those students, another form of support for homeless youth is being admitted to Renaissance Scholars, which is a comprehensive support program that helps students from college admissions to graduation. We currently serve 40 students each year. For those students admitted into Renaissance Scholars, they receive a wide range of support services to assist with their personal, academic, and financial needs. Specifically related to housing, Renaissance Scholars has reserved beds at the university dorms. University Housing has also agreed to provide fee deferments for those students who cannot afford the housing deposit and application fee. And students who live in housing receive a meal plan, and housing remains open for them during winter and spring breaks. Renaissance Scholars also offers students paid summer internships, which is critical during the summer months when our students don't readily receive financial aid. And last, Renaissance Scholars offers an emergency fund to assist students with unexpected emergencies to help with their basic needs and enrollment at the university. Renaissance Scholars has been successful over the past 5 years. We started in 2008 and have a year-to-year retention rate of keeping students at about 90%. So we're proud of the hard work and dedication of our students. And I know that there are other CSU campuses that have foster youth support programs and extend their services to other vulnerable independent youth, including homeless youth. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you for your incredible story and for sharing it in the way that you did. I wish the young women were still here. They had to leave, but congratulations to you. Thank you for sharing that, because I think so many times our young people don't have role models for where I can go, and your commitment is incredible. We're going to move to the next presenter, but I want to ask you very quickly. This is a program that is committed to by Fresno State. It's something that you did internally, a commitment by this particular university, as opposed to the Renaissance Scholars is a program self-directed by Fresno. Is that?
No, there are other programs like it. They're more formally known as Guardian Scholars. Have you heard of that?
Okay.
At Fresno State, it's called Renaissance, so it's our version of Guardian Scholars.
Got
yeah.
it. Okay, thank you. Maria?